bit of erosion trouble. I'd always liked the idea of cross fencing, rotating cattle. My field had for us. We had a piece of hay ground that wasn't really suitable for hay ground, and they helped me turn it into pasture and put water to it. We started the wood exclusion fence. Keep livestock out of the woods and the water lines first. We had to put the water troughs in before we could fence the creek out. Stock had the water. The fence is supposed to have been 35 foot from the creek, but we went some places 150 foot from the creek. They let me control what kind of fence. They did not dictate to me the type of fencing. They said what the problems were and what we need to figure out how to correct. When I was a kid, my way of thinking up to a few years ago, if you had a creek run through your property, that was great. You had no watering troughs. They showed us that you can fence the creek out, use watering troughs and cross fencing and come out just as good, if not better. It's a simple contract that I can read, I can understand. I've learned a lot, got educated on a lot of stuff that I used to think, well, you can't do that, that's a sissy farm. But once you get educated and learn why you need to do it, it makes a whole lot of sense.
Benefits with conservation practice for me and the stewardship programs have actually increased my herd size of cattle. My hay production has increased. It used to be somewhere around 3 tons to the acre, 3.5 tons to the acre, and currently this year alone, it was for the first cutting I produced 4.5 tons to the acre.
In 2006, we had what's called a TMDL, was published for the Second Creek watershed, which said that our bacteria levels, fecal coliform bacteria levels, were way higher than any allowable limits. We came in, we started working with farmers to put in these riparian buffers, exclude livestock from the stream, put in alternative water systems, so that way it was not going to decrease their overall agricultural production, but we could still protect the stream.
Second Creek and the fishery that we have here is a major source of my business. I got approximately 75 to 80% of my trout fishing trips are here. A bit more specifically to the work that the Conservation Agency has done, that mitigation and repair to the riparian zone throughout the entire stream corridor has lowered the impacts of our high water events. So it now takes the stream a lot longer to get muddy and become unfishable than it used to, and it clears much quicker than it ever did before. So instead of me being out of trips for 4 or 5 days, now it's 1 or 2 at the most, and because of that, it extends my season significantly. And if we didn't have the habitat projects that the Conservation Agency has done, not just in the fly fishing only area, but in the entire watershed, fencing all of the cattle out of Kitchen Creek, fencing the cattle out of the upper parts of Second Creek, all of that riparian mitigation and habitat work that's been done just really pays off.